What up, YouTube Elleix? Coming back at you with another custom StarCraft 2 cast spawning on the top left-hand side of the map. It's our green Zerg player, SepiaSerpent, going up against his opponent. Spawning on the bottom right-hand side of the map. It's not the Zerg. It's not the Primal Zerg. It is the Dragons. It's our pink player, Asure. If you're new to my channel, I do cast a lot of custom StarCraft 2 content, which includes modded races. So if that's something you're interested in, please consider shooting me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And I know that the modder had no intentions of making the Dragons the Primal Zerg, but let's be real. If the Primal Zerg were a playable race in StarCraft 2, it would be the Dragons, and it looks like SepiaSerpent was sending over a scout, but decided to switch it up and attack the Razorback. If you're not familiar with the Dragons, the Razorback is essentially a grounded overlord, but it has some reactionary defense that does damage when it gets hit. As we can see, this drone did take a few hit points of damage, so this drone is going to come into the main base of the Dragon player slightly weakened, but nonetheless able to get the scout in and still doing some harassment. What a pain in Azure's side this drone is. And man, this is something I never actually considered. The Razorback, I don't believe it's a massive unit, but you can use it to help wall off your main base, and this thing looks like it's about as wide as an Archon, so that is pretty sick. We do have an expansion coming down for Asure. This drone trying to do some damage, trying to maybe bait Asure into pulling some workers. Taking a look at what SepiaSerpent's doing, he is throwing down an expansion. I believe this is a hatchery first coming down for our green Zerg player. So both players potentially going for the macro playstyle. We do have what is going to be the scout coming in for Asure, the super slow grounded overlord, the Razorback, walking up the ramp. This is actually hilarious to me. I don't know why. Oh man, so he is seeing that there is going to be an expansion in the natural base location, so this is not going to be any sort of 9-pull, even though he would have seen it at this point. SepiaSerpent, like, what the hell is this? Oh, the Razorback is actually blocking the ramp. I think this is a full wall. Wait a minute, let's see. Is this a full wall? No kidding. Azure saying farm. This is supply. Okay, yeah, this is supply, but this is also a hilarious troll. I'm not sure it was worth it, but we did see a couple of those Zerglings go down, and what a gruesome death. Oh, rest in peace, Razorback. You denied the exit for these Zerglings by about, I want to say maybe 30 seconds, not even 30 seconds. That was like 15 seconds or less, let's be honest. But we do have a lot of Zerglings here, and we have what is going to be a Baneling nest. So, SepiaSerpent may be going for some sort of 2-base all-in, taking a look at what our Dragon player is up to. Now, I'll be fully transparent. I think I've only done maybe 3 or 4 casts featuring the Dragons, so I'm not very familiar with them, but I do know that there are some interesting mechanics. So you can basically split your units to make them the same version but weaker of a single unit, or you can buff the unit, but I'm not entirely sure how the buff mechanic works. But regardless, we have what is going to be a Baneling bus coming in for our green Zerg player. And what's the army supply at? 23 army supply to 10 in favor of our green Zerg player, and Asure, he's about to see what's happening. He's going to run back to the safety of his natural base, but this is a lot of, I mean, yeah, now this is a lot of Banelings. I was going to say, oh, this is a lot of Banelings, but it was only 4. We have one of the Razorbacks going down. We have what is going to be the Frontier Deep one. I think this is production for the Dragons, and these Zerglings taking out the Razorbacks. This is like watching a massacre of herbivores. Oh, that was rough. And this is a lot of Zerglings. We have 14. No, wait. How many units do we have on the field? We have 46 Zerglings on the field. We do have the Ascended Flame Spitters. They will do a decent amount of DPS, but this is so many Zerglings. I honestly think the Zerglings could have taken out this Denizen of the Deep, the main mining structure for the Dragon player, but we have what is going to be more Banelings on the way. SepiaSerpent saying your race is OP, but at the same time, he's ahead. Asure just giving a little bit of a smiley face. I mean, to be fair, we have what is 5 Flame Spitters against a ton of Zerglings, but regardless, the Denizen of the Deep goes down. We have the Sunken Guardian. This reminds me of, what is it in StarCraft 1? Was it the Sunken Colony? I think it's the Sunken Colony that does anti-ground static defense. So So how many kills does this have? This thing has 2 kills, but we still have a lot of Zerglings. Taking a look at the map, we have what is going to be 32 Zerglings to what is 5 Flame Spitters. So taking a look at the resources lost, relatively even, about a 600 resources lost deficit for our green Zerg player, but he's throwing down a 3rd expansion. SepiaSerpent saying, go on then. How do I counter that? Oh, man. What I would make against Flame Spitters, honestly, would probably be Roaches. They're a bit more tanky, and I feel like they would be much better fit against the Flame Spitter. Now, taking a look at the upgrades, all we have on the field right now is Zergling speed. We do not even have Baneling speed, and we don't even have Baneling speed on the way. So, with SepiaSerpent's commit to the Banelings, I would potentially go for the Baneling speed and try to run into the mineral line. And at the same time, SepiaSerpent, man, you're not really doing that bad. You're asking how to counter this, but at the same time, you're going to be up ahead in bases. Army supply is relatively even. You're only building tier 1, and I guess the Baneling is like a tier 1.5, not even unit. Oh no, that was so much supply. Now Asure is supply blocked. He has 64 out of 40 supply. That was what? I think that was 4. That was 4 Razorbacks that instantly went down. So, SepiaSerpent doing a great job at being a pain in Azure's ass. I'm sorry, I had to. I could not do it. I'm sorry, Asure. If you watch this video, I am so sorry. But we have what is also going to be a 4th base coming down for our green Zerg player. So, honestly, all SepiaSerpent has to do is just chill. One thing to keep in mind, I believe the Flame Spitters can jump cliffs, so even though he's technically kind of, like, being sieged by the Zerg, he's not really stuck. He could run these Flame Spitters around, jump them over the cliff, and maybe do some harassment on the Zerg side of the map. And here we go, we have what is going to be one Overlord going down. The Dragons are coming for vengeance, but at the same time, giving the opening for these Zerglings, and it looks like they're running into the main base. They will likely do some damage on the mineral line. That's exactly what SepiaSerpent should be focusing on with the commit for these Zerglings into the main base, forcing the retreat for Asure running back into the base. Honestly, it almost looks like Asure was going for a little bit of a bait. Taking a look at the workers killed in this game, only 3 workers killed, and it was by Zerg. So those Zerglings really did not do a lot of damage. Taking a look at the resources lost, 3,000 resources lost to almost 2,000. So about a 1,000 resources lost deficit for the Zerg. Is more like 1,300. So this is still anybody's game, but Asure really should think about expanding. And just as I said it, I didn't even notice, he is expanding. He does have a 3rd base coming down. I'm stumbling over my words. There is already so much action. We're only 8 minutes into the game. Already 8 minutes into the game. You know, time flies when you're having fun, I just gotta say. Oh, and here we go. We have another Overlord going down. These these Dragons taking some vengeance, some much-needed vengeance on their lost Razorbacks. Another Overlord going down, so that is going to supply block SepiaSerpent. Now he's at 105 supply, over 96, so that's about 1 or 2 Overlords, and we have what is going to be a mass cloak on these Dragons, I believe from the Horned Magus, which is a spellcaster unit for the Dragons. Oh, that is so cool. There's a lot of really interesting cloak mechanics for the custom races. Now, like I said, I'm not as familiar familiar with the Dragons, and SepiaSerpent just throwing out a bunch of question marks. I love the banter coming out of this guy. It's hilarious, man. And we have, what else do we have on the field? So we have the Magus, and here we go. We have an Ascended Flame Spitter. Where is it? So I believe the Ascended Flame Spitter is one of the upgraded versions of the typical Flame Spitter, and I don't know if the ones that you split have any different names or not. I'll be honest with you guys, but this is a big army. Taking a look at the army supply, it's 59 to 51. Now 66 in favor of Asure. Asure finding himself supply blocked again, and we have what is going to be a lot of Banelings. Are they going to do any damage to this army? And they do. Army supply is reduced to 9 for SepiaSerpent and to 39, now 41 for Asure, but SepiaSerpent doing a great job at macroing. He's now back to 28 army supply already, and he has 4 bases. Taking a look at the worker supply, 71 workers to 55 in favor of SepiaSerpent. So Keep in mind, though, SepiaSerpent has not been as efficient in this game as Asure and SepiaSerpent saying, why is your race so OP? What the hell? Well, okay, look. This is Asure just throwing another smiley face. I love it. SepiaSerpent saying it's so boring to play. Hey, look, so this is the issue with the custom races. You know, there's going to be some balance issues. It's only made by one guy, and he has to balance it with 3 other races that were in existence for over 10 years. We have what is going to be another mass cloak, but still, with those massive Baneling hits, able to take out the entire army. So here we go, you know, SepiaSerpent saying, why is your race so OP? And then he just cleans up the entire dragon army. So honestly, he's not doing that bad. I think he should give himself a bit more credit. We have what is going to be a lot of Banelings, and they do have Baneling speed, and I forgot the production tab, actually. I'm sorry about that. So we have what I believe is going to be +2 melee attack for the Zerg coming down. What does the dragon have? Honestly, I don't know what these upgrades are. I am so sorry about that. But we have what is potentially going to be a big engagement at the natural base location for our pink Dragons player. I almost called him a Zerg player, but no, it looks like SepiaSerpent going for the third base and taking out a lot. Oh, a big hit on those workers. How many workers went down this game so far? 16 workers went down, the majority of those just now. And we have what is going to be another push of Banelings into the third mineral line. Now we have 26 workers killed by our green Zerg player. So SepiaSerpent saying, why is your race so OP? It's boring to play against, but then finding himself ahead in this game. Taking a look at the worker supply, SepiaSerpent with 69 workers, nice, to 49 workers for Asure. Army supply is also ahead for SepiaSerpent, 46 to 26. And we have another push of Zerglings. So SepiaSerpent, honestly, a really good player. How many, what's the APM? Oh, wow. Current APM was over 500 for a sec. Average is 268 for SepiaSerpent and 128 for Asure. Now, wow, that is super sick. The Brimstone Demolisher. So this thing is literally just a fire breather. Look at this. That is so cool. It must be an ability, though, because it does have energy, and we have the flame spitters. They are tiny compared to this thing. This thing is for sure a massive unit, and man, like I said, this is exactly what I would picture the Primal Zerg to play like if they existed. They are so cool. But what was I saying? I keep interrupting myself. SepiaSerpent, give yourself more credit, my guy. You were doing great against a race that I'm assuming you do not know much about, and like I said, the balance will be difficult, especially if it's a single developer developing a race against trying to balance it against 3 other races that have been in existence for over a decade. And we have what is going to be a lot of changelings. I'm really curious what they turn into. I wonder if they turn into flame spitters. We'll find out. Or do they not turn into anything? Oh no, they definitely try. Okay, come on. I need to see what this changeling turns into. I mean, either way, he's getting some good scouting information. We'll see that there's what is a 4th base for our dragon player. And I wonder if I actually wonder if the changeling doesn't know what to turn into. I wonder if there's because this is a modded race, if the changeling doesn't recognize this as anything that exists in the game. That's actually that's something I feel like that would be really difficult to implement, but maybe not, though. I don't mod the game, so who knows, but we have what is going to be a big Zerg army breaking down these rocks, and I don't think Asure is aware of this at all. He's totally out of position. He's running to what is, I think, like the 6th or 7th base for the Zerg player, but we have what is going to be a lot of Banelings coming in, taking out all the workers almost. I honestly don't know how that one survived with no damage taken at all. And the Denizen of the Deep almost dead, but not quite. And we have what is going to be the hatchery going down as well. I still can't believe that expansion survived. Holy crap, you guys. And we have what is potentially going to be a big engagement. This is, I think, the 4th base location for the Zerg. We have a big evacuation of drones, and I think this hatchery is as good as dead. Taking a look at the army supply, 102 army supply for SepiaSerpent to 96, but the worker supply is insane. 95 worker supply to 55 in favor of our green Zerg player. And a second hatchery going down. We have some cancels on those larvae as well, but this is a big army. We have an Ultralisk as well. We have 2 Ultras as well. But these Demolishers are crazy. Look at how much damage they're doing to the light units. They took out so many of the Zerglings now. Okay, SepiaSerpent. I can't say I disagree with the OP comment after seeing that. That was absolute insanity. A lot of these Brimstone units do go down, and now we have what is only Flame Spitters left. The Ultralisk actually doing a ton of damage, though. I think cleaning up the rest of these Flame Spitters, and this Magus going down as well. This Ultralisk with 11 kills. Whoa, okay, so that was an insane engagement. That was probably one of the craziest engagements I've seen in a very, very long time. That was crazy. I still think, I mean, taking a look at the resources lost, 24,000 resources lost to 17,000. Slight deficit for our Green Zerg player, but look at this. The Green Zerg player has the entire left side of the map with hatcheries, so, and he still has 92 workers, so I want to say he's in a great position. Taking a look at the army supply, 80 army supply to 60 in favor of our Green Zerg player as well. And we still have this this Overlord that's been here the entire game. So MVP Overlord, wow. And we have 47 workers killed to 1. Way in favor of our Green Zerg player. So SepiaSerpent obviously knows what he's doing, but one thing that I will say should be balanced is these changelings, because the changelings don't know what to turn into, so they just run to their deaths. And we have some Zerglings trying to do some damage, actually taking out at least, I think, 2 or 3 workers. These Flame Spitters coming to save the day, but a little bit too late. Both players doing a great job at expanding, and both players at relatively similar army supply. Income is definitely in favor of our Green Zerg player, but this is still anybody's game. But this is a lot of Ultras, and to be fair, the one Ultralisk killed, I think, like 11 Flame Spitters. So I agree with this decision. There's no air units on the field for our pink Dragon player. And I'm really curious to see how these Ultras do against these Brimstone Demolishers. They are so crazy, but the Ultras tanking those fireballs like champions, taking out all these Brimstone Demolishers. And now we have what is going to be a bunch of Ultralisks on the pink side of the map. Asure throwing out the GG, giving the victory to SepiaSerpent. What an action-packed custom StarCraft 2 game. If you enjoyed what you saw, please consider shooting me a like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want me to cast any of your own games, I will leave my email and Discord in the description below. And I'll see you guys on the next one.